think it says we are live. You are live. That means we all are live. So, welcome everyone to another series of our webinar session, of our Meet the Experts session. And first of all, let me thank our dear guests, Felix and Stefan, from KNF, that they brought this impressive video. We've been kidding a few minutes ago that we feel like it's a Hollywood studio.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think kind of a Hollywood studio, it really feels, or it sometimes is. No, first of all, welcome everyone to our today's edition from blowing Germany. We have a really, kind of a storm going on here. Jensen, it's pretty far away from you, so you should not be affected. But like I said, I'm very happy to welcome our dear guests here, which I'm going to put on solo layout. First things first. Felix and Stefan, maybe you can shortly introduce yourself and welcome us to this webinar.
Yeah. May I start? Yeah. First, thank you, Jörg, for this invitation to the Meet the Experts webinar. We are really exciting today. We are happy to be here, and hopefully we can bring you some insights of our pump world, what we can do, what we plan to do. And
great.
Yes, to our persons, to my side first, my name is Felix Ulrich. I'm with KNF for 11.5 years now, and I work in the domestic sales department for our OEM products. Just to give you a short hint, we divided our sales departments in the OEM domestic sales, in the export sales, and the third part is the laboratory part. So I come from the OEM domestic, and I'm responsible as a team leader for the northern part of Germany.
Yeah, thanks. And I'm Steinhardt. I'm responsible for the export sales department, so I'm leading that department. So our department is responsible for all pumps that leaving the German factory to foreign countries. Yeah.
All right, great. Stefan, Felix, great to have you on board, and leading at least export, I think is a very good topic to say hello to the guy who is with us since the first webinar and from very far away. Hi, Jensen.
Hello, it's hot and humid here.
Oh yeah.
It's just windy here. It's a mixed weather. I think you would enjoy it, Jensen.
Yeah. I always miss them.
How's everything on your side, Jensen?
Well, I think I would say in terms of sales is really going back to normal. Yeah, in terms of weather, there's nothing much change. It's still hotter and hottest.
Okay. Hottest. That's true. So I'm super happy, and we've been spoken here in our preparation session. Great to have more than 400 people signing up. This is a strong sign, and also maybe for the colleagues of KNF, additional pressure.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So expectations are high, but I know that this will not be an issue. And I saw the great presentation and preparation work you've done, and so I'm very happy to have you here. And I think the relevancy of our today's topic is really there. In one of our last sessions, we talked about peristaltic pumps, and we had a very good audience, very good feedbacks about this topic as well. And I wouldn't say, because I think it's difficult to say what kind of pump is more important. But the flow inside a sample handling system is super important for the final results, and therefore, like I said, we are happy to welcome such great experts with such a great history, and that we can have you here. Okay.
We would say both pumps are have their relevance in the systems.
No, absolutely. And as I said, I mean, we always have the example when we assemble something or when we have a project. It doesn't matter if it's only a small tube fitting which is missing, or all parts are relevant.
Yeah.
But therefore I'm quite happy that with today's session, then we covered the peristaltic parts and the gas sampling part of regarding the pumps, and I think that's just pretty nice for the people. And the people and the attendees, this is also something I should not miss, because I think I missed it the last times. Just really, I mean, we have so many people signed up. Just say hello, give us some comments. In the background, there's Tobias Henrich, who's taking care of any questions, who will consolidate all the questions which are coming up. So it would just be nice if you can leave a comment, and if we can have your questions. Okay, so outlook till the end of the year. I think, Jemson, we are almost done in the preparation. Let's see, maybe we have one other interesting partner I have invited, which is not confirmed yet, but I think we might add another webinar. And then, we had a great series this year. So having the guests from KNF here now at 11th of November, we are going to have SICK, I think a company which is also very good known. And then we talk about heating tapes and our heating technology in our heated sample line with the company nVent. We have the company Schramm here for the enclosures. And finally, it seems like this will be the final session of this year, Gasmate. So I think then we can, Jemson, I think at the end of the year, we can be quite proud how many big companies we were able to invite, and how much content we could deliver to our audience, right?
Yeah, are we going to have a Christmas session?
Yeah. We will have a Christmas party, and we invite all the people who attended.
The last webinar is under the Christmas tree, right?
With the Santa then.
That's a good idea. Okay, maybe just shortly, if you missed this video, we will also share the YouTube link, not just our YouTube link, but I know that KNF is also very active in the social media world, and they are. I mean, I saw your activities even on LinkedIn. So we will make sure that this session will be available there. On PSG's channels, on KNF channels, so that you will have access to this. And obviously also when you're linked to the event, you have the contact details, not just of us, but also from our experts here. So feel free to contact us.
Absolutely.
Okay. Short overview of what are we going to talk about today. Obviously, the company KNF is interesting for us. Where does KNF come from? What is their center of what is their competence fields? I think this will be very interesting to understand. We will talk about pumps configurations, and we will also give you now at the beginning a short overview why are pumps so relevant in our emission monitoring or process analytical systems. And then and this is a session, or this is a part I'm very happy that you guys prepared this, that we will also get some practical practical tips, and that we will see how to service even a pump. I think this is something which we also felt in the preparation, that many people had some questions around this. And then at the end, I really hope this time we will have enough time Jameson, remember our last session where we said, it's going to be tons of time, no problem. And then at the end, we even had to rush, right? So, Jameson, let's make sure that our parts are, right. That was the right move. we already started with the product overview. Sample handling systems consist of many different components. And as you might know, we are focusing on the development and production of gas sampling probes, of the transport of gas samples, which is very often done or carried out in heated sample lines where we have more than 2,500 different versions. And then finally, we have the topic of gas conditioning. And if I'm not mistaken, gas sampling pumps is something we would consider in this field. I mean, we talked about this in other webinars as well. Depending on the analyzer technology, you might have a cooler, which means a dryer, in order to remove the water from the gas sample we want to measure. And in this case, then there's a cooler. But any type of pump is always needed in this kind of systems, right? And maybe, James, in the next overview, we can see the gas cooler range which we have in our program. And I'm not just only highlighting this in order to to mention this, but I would like to show you how integrated the KNF products are in our product range. Because there's one product line, as you might know, we have these two different product lines. We have the MAK product line, which is focused more in the emission monitoring, and the MAK products can be equipped as a fully automated, or let's say fully operated conditioning system. That means you have the chance with many options even to integrate the gas sampling pump inside our conditioner. You might see this here at the back. So that it's a fully operating unit. This is not possible with the BCR row. With our BCR product line, we are more focusing on, and we have a lot of ATEX products, ATEX certified products. And there, it would not be possible to integrate the pump, but obviously also KNF is very rich in different solution for the ATEX areas. As you can already see on the accessory overview. Okay, Jameson, last slide. And then I think our colleagues are already want to get started. No, I think, and Jameson, maybe that's also interesting to hear from your practical experience. I mean, we have these different items here. We have the gas sampling probes, we have the heated sample line, we have the gas cooler. What in your experience is to say about the gas sampling pumps?
I would say is that, like the sampling systems, there's no such thing as one sampling pump that fits all the sampling configuration. This is very, very important. It is not a cut and paste technology. Therefore, it is important for us, right? I think, hope that our colleague from KNF will elaborate further. But on one of the things that we are talking about, pumps here are really important in terms of the amount of flow in terms of flow that we have to accommodate how much is really needed in terms of the length of the line and all the way to the gas analyzer. So I think I don't want to steal the show from the KNF guys. This is the meet the expert session.
Absolutely, Jameson. But I think it's our role, and it is important to mention the relevancy, because a sample handling system is something which lives. That means you might have filters and the filter get blocked. This again has a reaction, can have an impact, a reaction on the flow. This again impacts the pump. This again might have an impact on the outlet dew points of a cooler. So it's like you said, and I mean, this is always the message we say, and without stealing this from KNF, they would show us an impressive tool, I would say, which helps people to find the right pump for the right application. And this is really, I would say, the perfect moment for the handover to KNF, because they can explain us why it sometimes can be difficult or a challenge, and a challenge KNF likes to be challenged at, to find the right pump.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Okay, so guys, the mic is yours.
Let's go. Right.
Yeah. First of all, we will just give you a short introduction about KNF. Who are we? We are a developer, manufacturer, and supplier of high-quality diaphragm pumps for gases and liquids. We are a family-owned company, founded in 1946, and we are the worldwide technology leader in application-specific diaphragm pumps and system. We come a bit later more to this application-specific. For all those who are calculated already, 1946 we were founded, so we celebrated our 75th anniversary this year. And in the meantime, we are present in 17 locations worldwide with more than 800 employees. Our pumps are produced in 5 production sites, 2 of them in Switzerland, 1 in France, 1 in the US, and 1, of course, here in Germany.
Okay.
And we are delivering our pumps worldwide, so more than 100 customer countries, wherever there's a need, and we are allowed to deliver, we are selling to those countries. So we are very international, also with our customer base.
Wow, impressive numbers.
Yeah. Nice growth over the last couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah. And as Jensen mentioned, you can hardly copy an analysis system from one application to another, and it's nearly the same for the pump. As soon as some specification or some requirements are changing, you need to adapt the pump. And we are really specialized in adapting our pumps to the customer needs. So we are doing our main business with customized pumps. So over the year, we are approximately doing 3,000 adaptations from our standard pumps according to the customer's needs. So this is really our strength and our business model to supply pumps specified and adapted for the customer's needs. And we do this for, sorry, Jörg?
But is the variation then coming from because you are entering different industries, or is this really in the industries that there are changes or adaptation needed?
It's really depending. I mean, there are different industries. Of course, we have also several products for these industries, but several customers have specific requirements where we just can, with our modular system, also easily adapt these pumps to make it suitable for the requirements of the customers. Okay.
No, but because I mean, there's new developments. If we look at sample handling systems, for example, back in the days, there was the analyzer system itself needed probably a very, very high flow, and now the ranges are getting lower, and even sometimes, but like you confirmed Jensen's statement, there's not the only pump solution for all. So it's interesting to hear.
Yeah. And also factors, as Jensen mentioned, like pipe length, or even if there's a pre-pressure or something, needs to be considered to find the right pump.
Right, yeah.
Okay, and also important for these customized pumps, we deliver from batch size 1 up to thousands, depending on the requirements of the customers, of course. So we are really also able to deliver small batches. So we can really specify the pump also for one piece.
Wow, impressive.
What are our main industries? We have the OEM and process part. And the OEM part, we are a supplier for system manufacturers or device manufacturers. One big market is the medical technology market. Another one is the inkjet printing market, where we go to the industrial inkjet printing for wide format printers, for example. Then vacuum technology is also quite big business for us, for pre-vacuum pumps, for turbomolecular pumps, also pick-and-place applications. Then there's the environmental monitoring and analysis, where it comes to air quality or water quality analysis, and the analytical instruments like for laboratory device manufacturers.
So we are in the nice green field. So
yes,
right.
part of it, yes. And the bigger one, the bigger part, which we are concentrating more today, is then the process pumps.
Okay.
And here we are with the tasks like transferring aggressive and explosive liquids and gases, or if you have valuable or hazardous processing media. For hot gases, we have special pumps, also pumps for mobile and stationary process analysis, or simply to transfer of neutral, slight aggressive, or even corrosive process gases. And you can always see the range of pumps we can deliver for those tasks. And in general, we can say the flow rate can go up to 250 liters per minute. We have a maximum pressure of 12 bar G, and we can go down to the deepest vacuum of 2 millibar absolute in this process pump range.
Okay. Yeah, okay, wow.
So you have seen now quite a bit of pumps going through. We have them also spread it up here. So you can see a big variety, and from big compressors also, which are mainly used to bring back the gases into processes for process analysis. If you have a high pressure process, then the analysis takes place and the gas needs to go back to the system. And we marked the best sellers here for the SEM application, like the N922 FT as a chemical resistant version, the N87X as an ATEX proof pump. And then for heated or for hot gases, temperature resistant pumps, we have the 86.16, which is quite popular for those applications. And kind of the most popular pump probably for the SEM application, the N86, you can see on the bottom there. And for this, we recently launched the successor model, the N96, which has an improved head design and also brushless DC motor. And Felix will go into details.
Topic we talk about in the upcoming slides, right?
Okay. Sorry, guys. I think that went a little bit fast.
Okay, no problem.
We hope that you say that.
Okay. No. I think it's impressive. First of all, I like your green.
Yeah.
But just for our understanding here. So there is hot pumps and cool pumps, or how do you separate this?
Yeah.
Yes, in general, you can say that. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so depending on the application, I think that was also very interesting to hear. And maybe you saw the poll that we've been putting up in advance to the event. Unfortunately, we haven't had too many replies, but people were, many questions, or I think 70% of the people wanted to talk about the emission monitoring. And but I think at the same time it's interesting to look at the process analytics, because there, Stefan, you mentioned that, I mean, in many sampling systems for the process analytics, there is already positive pressure, right?
Yeah.
So
right.
there is no need to suck the sample out like we do it in the emission monitoring. But then you said this is regarding to bring the sample back to the process.
You're right, yeah.
Okay.
Or sometimes even the analyzer needs even more pressure. So sometimes we have a pre-pressure of 1 or 2 bar into the pipes, into the lines, and suck the sample out of the pump. And maybe the analyzer needs 5, 4, or 6 bar. There are some analyzers in the market that need that pressure, and therefore you need to increase the pressure through the pump. And as Stefan mentioned, the second is to bring the gas back into the process. And these are the two main applications, let's say, in the process area with the bigger pumps. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I understand. And then
that's more the bigger pumps. Unfortunately, we can't bring the big pumps up here, so because they're really heavy. So there are really, really heavy pumps sometimes, and really high demands on that pumps. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I can imagine. All right. Okay. And then out of this overview, you said the maybe the best seller, and I think you marked it here, N68. This is, I mean, we are also using this in our gas conditioning system, but you would say this is like the best seller for, so to say, standard emission monitoring systems.
Yes, that's maybe the high runner in the classic SEM systems so far, and the highest amounts of pumps at the moment. In this
Yeah, I understand. And so that's also great news for us that you brought the successor, or the new generation, and that we can talk about this. I think that would be very, very exciting. Okay, Jensen, are you clear?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Okay. Well, but it's already impressive to see this big range, right?
And that's only a small part of the big range. Okay.
I didn't know that it was such a huge market. So many pumps will fit so many industries, so many applications.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry for the interruption, guys.
No problem. That's the idea. So, and you just said we have a wide range, and we needed to supply a wide range of application as well. So this is kind of our process landscape, which is probably not really complete. So we have also various other applications, but here are a few examples where our pumps used. This is the emission measurement in the middle, which is probably the most typical one. But we also have flue gas analysis. We have leak detection. We have detection of explosive areas, so atmosphere. So this is really, very wide range of applications where pumps are needed. Also monitoring systems for tunnels, for example. And with this wide range, we are able to deliver the right pumps to the different applications. And the pumps go from this size. This is really small one.
So I put you on solo layout. So
so it's really matchbox size. Up to really the big ones, which we cannot even show here because they are too big in order to bring it on the table. So it's wide range of pumps for a wide range of applications.
Yeah. So I think that's already interesting to see. Can you show it again, Stefan? The smallest one?
Yeah.
It's this one. So,
it's hard to show it on the camera.
Yeah, that's very difficult to see.
That's a classic mobile device pump. If you see this process landscape, maybe it's the classic handheld device when you go into canals for safety issues. The people has to put some measuring devices on their trousers to make sure that there's nothing hazardous or poison gases. And these are the small pumps are the classic mobile devices.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Okay, we spoke now a lot about a big variety of pumps for a big variety of application. I think the big challenge for everybody is to find the right pump for his application. And most of the time the specifications are clear, but if you have a very big range, it's difficult to find the right pump. And for that, we have on our website a pump finder that makes it easier for all the customers to find the right pump. And maybe you can just switch to the website, and I can just give you a short demo of this pump finder.
Hold on.
No problem. Just waiting.
I think I have to remove this one. Remove from stream. Sorry. Put this one again on the stream. Oops. Guys, are you still there? Yeah, perfect. You can still hear us. Yeah, okay, great.
All right, so on our website, you can find the solution and product menu. And if you click on pumps, you will directly be guided to this pump finder. And there you have the possibility to enter your specification. We are talking about gas analysis. Therefore, the selected medium is obviously gas. And the function, most of the time is a transfer, because you want to transfer the analysis gases. And then you can also select special features, like if you have an X-proof area, you need a high IP class, for example, or if you want to transfer hot gases. If you just go for the standard emission application, you just set then also some flow rate which I would say like 4 or 5 liters up to maybe 18, and then you scroll down and you get the pumps that are that can be used. If you now say that you don't need a very deep vacuum, so you can go up to 100 millibar, for example, then you have not the deep vacuum pumps, but then have also the 86 that we just spoke about, with the 87 as a chemical resistant version, also the X version, and the 96 as the new pump can be found here.
Okay. Wow. I think that's very rich. Yeah. That's a very good overview.
Yeah, you have a lot of choices to adjust this selector. So, but I think what is important to say, if you're not sure, just leave it. Just the amount of pumps underneath will become more, and then you can choose the right pump. And I guess what's also very important is that that's just the standard program. You find standard pumps, and sometimes the pump doesn't fit anyway. So that's the point where you have to contact us. So because it's not like if you can't find the pump on the web page that we can't do a solution for you. So right. That's what we talked at the beginning with the modular system. We can adjust the most of the pumps to specific needs and special requirements that sometimes are not on the homepage. Yeah.
Okay, so Felix, that means, for example, or for instance, if we say we need a higher flow or it's different gases, that will be possible, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
Right. Or you need connections or something like that. Yeah. Accessories, for example. This is all things that we can do beside the standard program.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So most important, if you found one kind of pump that might suit, but you need some adaptation, get in touch with us and we talk about them, and we most of the time can fulfill it. If you cannot find a pump anyway, contact us as well, and we will help you and guide you to the right pump. And important is you give us a specification, and we can kind of deliver a pump or a solution for you.
Yeah. And I think solution is even for us a very good word because I mean the layout and the design concept of a sample handling system, the pump, as we just learned, is very essential, but also the length and the dimension, for example, of the tubes which are used in the heated sample line. I mean, transport of the probe is a very critical, crucial issue, and therefore I can also let's say repeat the invitation to contact us if there's any issues regarding this sample handling before, and obviously we also have this good contact to the KNF colleagues to help you find the right sample handling system, the entire system, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah, very impressive to see. Thank you for giving out this overview. And this is just on your website, like you showed, yeah?
Yeah, knf.com. On product side, you will find this product.
Okay. Finder. Yeah. Great. Maybe we can also share this in our comments here, so that there's a direct link to this pump finder. I think it's interesting to see. Yeah. Great. Okay.
Great. Hand over now to Felix to go more in details with the.
That was the first part. Now it's my part to go a little bit more into the details. Maybe we can switch back to the presentation.
Yes, I will. Here we go.
Here we go. Fine. Really great. Yes, let's talk about the day-to-day needs of pump sampling pumps, the typical obstacles that has to handle into the system. And I want to give you some insights on our pump world. And the first topic we want to talk about is the handling of aggressive gases. Of course, you see the text, aggressive gases without risking failures, contamination of the environment is one obstacle in the process area and the measuring area. And now we come to what we can do to this. Of course, highly aggressive gases can have effects to the pump itself, as mentioned before, to the environment. and to the material of the pump, whether it's the function itself or it's the tightness of the pump by choosing the right materials. That's the bridge again to the modular system. And our solution is, like we said before, is one thing, the individual choice of a wide range of different material options through a wide range of pumps. With the next click, I will show you some examples of this, to match the most possible chemical resistance. Additionally, sometimes it's interesting to work with coatings. I remember one of your last webinars, you had the experts from Silcotech that make such coatings. Sometimes we have been working with them. We have been built up pumps with such coatings, but there are several other options. Depending.
Electropolishing can be some, but you're right, in very aggressive
for example,
situations.
Some PTFE coating or something like that are different options depending on the demand. And of course, sometimes it's also required to work with special cleaning processes. For example, if you have high amount of oxygen or pure oxygen into the pipes, into the pump, the pumps need an additional cleaning process. In general, of course, the diaphragm pump is a dry pump without contamination, but some processes needs additional cleaning processes as well. And there's also some things we can do with the pump if necessary. And as I said, here some examples of the most common materials. I think a lot of materials are well known in the area. The rubber parts, the diaphragms, the sealing parts, from EPDM, which has a lower chemical resistant, to the high chemical resistant parts, FFKM or stainless steel, or even PTFE, full PTFE materials. The same is to the pump heads. In lower requirement areas, we can work with plastics, with different plastics depending on the application, up to fluoroplastics, stainless steel, aluminium. In highly aggressive areas, we work with Hastelloy, for example. And maybe for those who followed the LinkedIn channel of KNF and the history, in the past, we also made a pump of gold.
Oh, wow. But Felix, sorry. First of all, thank you for giving this overview. You said without contamination. You mean contamination in terms of condensate or wet, or what do you mean by contamination?
Contamination means more like the contamination of the environment. So, for example, you choose the right sealing technology or the sealing materials in the pump, and the pump gets loses its tightness, especially in the ATEX area. It's not really good if the gas comes out of the pump. Contamination, of course, highly reactive gases have also influence to the pump material. If you choose the right head material, you might get problems. So this is me meant with it.
Okay, and one, let's say, maybe background question, because sometimes we experience that from customers or from applications that they are surprised about the gases and the component of gases they want to measure. So does that also sometimes happen to you guys, that you are contacted and people say, hey, see, your in our case, it's the heat exchanger inside of the gas cooler, but do they say, okay, your pump is not working, and then you discover together that the gas matrix they are measuring is not matching to what they have selected, or how is that?
Yes, of course, that also happened, but normally we try to guide the customer that this will not happen. But of course, you're right. Sometimes they choose the right materials, then you have to do some adjustments to the pump, to change the pump. And that's why it's so important, as we said during the pump finder, if you're not clear, 100% sure, do you have the right material, do you have the right pump, contact the according person to guide you, to help you.
Right. Okay. Just some background. Thank you for sharing.
And what's missing here, of course, we talk about the parts in contact with media to fulfill the picture of the modular system is you can choose the right pump heads, you can choose the right elastomeric part, but also the motor is one issue. That's what we talk about later on. And this makes this complete picture of what we can do in customization, using the pump material, the pump heads, the right motor, and sometimes even some special things to adjust the pump as needed.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Then we go further to the next topic, or let's say it's more an additional topic to that what we said before. We talked about high demand for performance. That's possible by choosing the right pump, by choosing the right materials for the pump. High demand for technical configuration options. I think we see that this is absolutely possible with the KNF pump. And we think the third topic, and that's even really important in the applications, is the service life and how to service a pump in general. And yeah, this is the part where we want to show you live how to service a KNF pump. First, our first idea was to show our service video of the pump, but we think when you can see that only even a sales guy can service a KNF pump, the other guys can handle this as well.
I appreciate it. Yeah, great.
So hopefully I will not make any failure. So that's the point where we try to switch to the manual camera, and I try to show you how easy it is to make a service of the KNF pump.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, now, do we have the right picture at the moment? Okay.
Yeah, it looks good. Thanks.
So, for example, we want to show it on our N96. That's the newest pump. We already talked about it. Here we have the pump. Here we have the spare part. You see, with this pump, we go with brushless DC motor. That's also a topic we will come up with the next few slides. And yeah, let's start to show you how easy it is to make a service. A few words before, of course, you find every info you need in the manuals and the instructions, the required spare parts, for example. You can find this in the data sheets and in the instructions, even the torques you need to fix the screw and something like that. So I will not go into the deepest detail for that.
No.
So, yeah. Service a KNF pump, it's quite easy. First, we open the 4 head screws of the pump. So let's put them out of the pump.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, is there a recommendation from you guys? How often do you have to do that? I know this is a mean question.
Yeah. With this question, you will always hear the same question or the same answer. It depends on.
Okay, very
yes,
nice. But then give us indicators.
Yeah, of course. Of course, the service life of the wearing parts depends on the application. Of course, if you have high pressures or highly aggressive materials, for example, sometimes you have to change the materials more often. In the classic SEM system, for example, if the pump runs nearly at atmospheric pressure, the pump will run several years sometimes. But if you ask for a thumb rule, approximately, we would recommend to change the wearing part once a year.
Right.
But as I said, in some application, you can run the pump much longer. Sometimes it's needed to replace them at an earlier stage. But if you have the thumb rule about 1 year, that you're really good, I think. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Now we open the pump, we remove the head part from the pump. Now here you can see the diaphragm. That's the first part we try to replace. You can grab the diaphragm, give him a little push to the top so that the position is in the top right, and you can screw it counterclockwise from the pump. And that's the first thing we've done. If there's some dirt or something like that, we recommend to clean it with a dry towel, for example. And then, of course, you can screw in the new diaphragm of the pump to make the pump work smoothly again. What's now important, you have to be sure that the diaphragm is 100% screwed down. You make it, you get a hard clock at the end, and just give it a smooth and gently push that the diaphragm is fit perfectly. You can push it a little bit down, and yeah, the diaphragm is already changed. Now the second part, as you can see, is the valves. Yeah, here you have the immediate blade. The valves are mounted between the immediate blade and the head blade. Just remove the valves. Also, if necessary, you can clean the head parts a little bit. You can replace the valve to the new ones and put back everything together. So just take it in hand.
Yeah.
So now put everything back together. With this pump especially, you have to kind of poka-yoke system, so you can't mount the head on the wrong position.
Okay.
Yeah, that's important. If you got the right position, you can't move it. If it's wrong, it will not fix. And then put it back to the pump, put in the screws again, and that's the service of a pump. And
okay, Jemson, I think this will give a lot of pressure to the service guys. I mean, this has been taken now how long? And even if you mentioned, Felix, that there's a special technology to avoid to mount it in the wrong way.
That's in this particular pump. But the general behavior with a lot of other KNF pumps, or with most KNF pump, it's absolutely the same procedure. Sometimes you have to put out some few screws more. Sometimes there's an additional sealing, or sometimes the diaphragm is not in closed service; it's fixed with a screw. But the principle of making the service is similar to nearly every KNF pump. Yeah.
Great.
So
thank you for this live demo, Felix. And I think we have to. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Just a last hint. Now you can do your first customization of the pump by putting the head in that way you would like to. Yeah. Maybe you want to have the connections to the side. Just turn the head. And then you have your first customized pump if you want to.
Very good. Yeah. No, and I'm excited to hear more about, especially this product you just worked on. Let me go back to your presentation, right? Because a little bit we have to have a look on the watch. As I promised you, time is flying.
Yeah.
Okay, but because I think that's a very interesting product you've just been working on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it will come on the next slides, especially what we talk about the brushless motors. Will one topic at the next slide. So maybe we can switch to this then, or
yeah, we are back to the presentation.
Yeah,
we
okay.
can continue the presentation.
Then we try to hurry a little bit up for the next parts. Next topic, of course, is something we talked about so far, is the condensate and how to handle condensate in the pump, or is condensate an issue for the pump? And here we try to wash out a little bit of the meaning that the diaphragm pump cannot handle condensate. So because that's absolutely not true. Of course, condensate in the pump has some effects to the performance of the pump, to the working of the pump, maybe some pressure changes, flow rate changes. But what we clearly want to say is that it has no functional impact, which means we do not expect that the pump gets destroyed because of condensate, or gets failed in an early stage because of condensate. Here we absolutely have no disadvantages against other common pump principles in the market. Yeah. Especially the newer pumps, we talk about the N96, and in the upcoming live thing, we talk about the 922. They are designed to drain the condensate, and even the older pumps too. So we sell a lot of pumps in this market since years, and so that's not really an issue. For the European market, maybe it's also interesting in the ARTEX area. So as you might know, in the European market, we take care about the ARTEX requirements also for the non-electrical part. So the head parts of the pump is also a topic we have to take care about. And this is something we would say the diaphragm has clearly advantages in terms of static charging and explosion-proof areas. Yeah, that's really important to say that. Yeah. And then, of course, even if the pump is able to handle condensate and it's not a problem, you can help the pump to handle the condensate. And this again is the second live part. We want to show you how to rotate really easy the head parts to adjust the pump in a way that the condensate can drain out really quickly and really easy. And yes, as you said, I try to make this quite short and pregnant. So let's switch to the camera again. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one thing to the smaller pumps. Of course, the smaller pumps you can mount it like in a way that the condensate can flow out by itself really easy. So you can mount it like this, or concerning to the requirements.
Okay.
Of course, with the bigger pumps, that's not really an handling
an option.
Option. So with the bigger pumps, it's possible to rotate the head pump, and we will show this on our new product line N922. How easy is that? We prepared the pump, so we try to open the cabinet plate. We screwed out 2 pumps so far to make this a little bit more fast. So just screw out the screws, remove the plate, and inside the pump you have additional 4 screws to hold the pump head on its place. Even here we already removed 3 of them, so now we just have to remove one screw out of the pump to rotate the head.
This is very nice. This is a little bit like the cooking shows where you say, I have prepared something.
You're right. So now that comes the situation. It's a little bit tricky to put out the screws. Yeah, that's something that shouldn't happen, fall down. Yeah, and now if you removed all screws, you are able to rotate the head of the pump in 90 degrees ways. Of course, if you mount the pump like this, it would be recommended to put the head parts down, that the condensate has a really smooth way to go out of the pump. So I have to be careful that the pump will not fall to the bottom, to the ground. And then the same procedure back ways, just replace or reinstall the 4 screws, reinstall the plate of the cabinet. And then again, you have customized this pump to your requirements.
So then it can drain out without any issue, without any problem, and doesn't make the impact on the performance. And like you said, okay.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So let it like this. So
yes.
And there are, of course, if you have condensate, there are some other requirements to install the pump at a high level in the cabinet, if possible, just to help it to flow out of the pump without any issues, right?
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, that's the topic condensate, and that we can definitely handle it. Last but not least, and I think this is the most important topic that you want to see when we talk about the new pumps with brushless DC motor. What is if the conditions in the measuring system changes? What can we do? You of course need a reliable measurement. You want a constant flow, and we talk about process-related pressure drops. You mentioned one before. The most common thing, I guess, is a clogged filter. The filter, we have dust, we have condensate, the filter becomes clogged, and therefore it has impact to the flow rate of the pump, impact to the measuring. And what we say in principle is that the diaphragm technology has advantages in this issue when it comes to pressure drops or to high pressure or deep vacuum. The diaphragm pump is able to generate sufficient flow even in high pressure. Stefan mentioned it up to 12 bar, or in deep vacuum. We can also run measurements with 100 millibar, for example, and that's a really advantage. But what will be the key factor in the future, I think, is the change of the digitalization. I think what we see that we go away from the classic AC-driven motors. As you mentioned, you buy a pump, maybe you buy it big enough that you can have these influences of pressure drops or something is not an issue. We see clearly that the future is the controllable brushless DC motor to react dynamically of these issues. Yeah? If the filter clogs, the flow goes down, maybe adjust the speed of the pump to hold the stable flow. In one of your last webinars, you talked about the T90 time, for example.
Right.
That you have a constant T90 time, and we already got some feedback from big analyzer companies that they see this coming as well, and especially in the traditional SEMS system. We think that this will be a key future, working with brushless DC motor, dynamic systems to hold on a stable system, and maybe some parts can replace with that. Yeah, classic bypass, traditional hand-driven valves, for example. Yeah, but that's what we see in the future with this.
So that means, I mean, this has also been something we've been discussing. The drift, which you can sometimes see, or which is there. I mean, you have the pressure is even changing just by the climate. Huh?
Of course,
the pressure in the winter is a different pressure than in the summer, and depending on your location, you might have impact on that. So.
Absolutely.
I think that's even from the sample handling side, this is something we are very excited and interested to look in, because I can see that, to at least to be capable to control it, to make sure that the flow might remain the same or the pressure might remain the same. You have something you can control, and at the moment, it is, there is a drift, and there's nothing really except you work on a bypass, which you could level then. But otherwise,
it's really interesting. In other markets, that's already implemented in that way. So the measuring market, it's a little bit behind at the moment. But yeah, as I said, we see that's the future in the systems. Maybe there are some solutions in the ARTIX area as well. So this is a little bit difficult at the moment working with DC and ARTIX, but we are pretty sure that this is that will come in the future, and we see this as a lot of benefits for the customers.
Okay, so everyone has to take out N96. Is, so to say, the upcoming star, and I might announce here that we will have a solution integrated with the N96 in our sample handling system. So I think that's a nice development, a nice outlook we have here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the main part of the technical details. I think we can easily talk 1 hour more.
I know. I really know. Yeah. So maybe with this outlook, Felix, you shared, or let me have a look if we do have any questions coming up so far, which were asked. Jamson, did you see any?
Yeah, I think we have questions from Indonesia. They was asking, is there any pumps that able to meet T6? T6, I believe this is talking about the EX zone.
That's quite challenging, because I think T6 means a maximum temperature of about 90 degrees. So that's something we have to check. So I think you can operate this only in a low pressure area, but this might be sportive. So the classic pumps in the ARTIX area we use is T3, T4, sometimes T5, and this is the point where we say it depends on. We have to check some few more parameters in the system what is required, and then we can make a decision or can help the customer maybe with a solution.
Yeah. There's another question asking that does KNF has any recommended configuration on how to regulate the discharge flow rate and pressure?
You mean? I think you mean the control of the motor speed.
I think is to how do we have any pump? Let me rephrase in my version is that is there any is how to regulate a discharge flow rate. That means in other words, is the flow rate and pressure. How the pump able to regulate the flow rate and pressure?
At the moment, you can only regulate the motor speed and adjusting the pump's work. So at the moment, it has the customer need a control system that can handle that. So an additional control system at the moment it's not integrated in the pump.
Yeah, which you mentioned about the digital pump is coming on board soon.
Yeah.
For the 922, we do have an integrated bypass. So for some pumps, we do have an integrated bypass to control the flow rate. But as Felix already mentioned, for the future, we see that the control of the motor will be the factor to control the flow rate of the pump.
Yeah. Basically, at this moment,
I mean, Jemson, if we look at the sample handling system, there's many different places where we need this information and where we could integrate the steering, right? So
in fact, exactly. Actually, there are many ways we can do this by means of on how we configure the systems rather than depending on the pump itself to regulate.
Yeah, but the pump, as the pump will be capable of doing that, I think we will see a new version, a new dimension, a new, like I said.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, we have to little bit look on the watch. Felix, I think you came up with the last slides.
You're right.
The
Absolutely.
last slide. And I think it's nice to end something with an outlook into the future.
Yeah, of course. So we already talked about the digital customization, what means the controllable motors, the configuration possibilities that we already have today to improve the energy efficiency, to manage targets of different systems, sometimes safety issues. If you go to 24-volt DC, you have less safety issues instead of working with 230 volt, for example. And what will come into the future? As I told you in the pre-preparation phase, we have some things ongoing, and we are unfortunately not able to go too deep into the details. But of course, one thing what is mentioned all over the system is predictive maintenance. Will be one thing that we are working on already. Wouldn't it be nice if the pump or if any device says now it's time for a service? And this will be one key thing. And we talked about the digital customization with the motors, and we can promise you that there will be some interesting features into the future. So stay tuned and follow us.
Absolutely. And I think that really confirms that it's great to follow KNF with their recent developments. Obviously, also to follow us because, like we already mentioned, there will be a solution. I think pretty innovative solution. Sample handling integrated with the new version of the N96 pump. So, as I told you before, we will be running out of time, and we clearly did.
We really mentioned 3 minutes.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us here. It was a great fun. It was interesting news, interesting things to see. I really appreciate the efforts you and the entire team from KNF has taken. Thank you, Tobias, again for your background work. Thank you, Jemson. And you all stay safe, and we keep posted. And I'm excited about this new future and the upcoming products. Right.
Also from our side, thank you very much again for this invitation.
Big thank you.
You're more than welcome. Okay, so then take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye from
Bye.